Throughout much of the state, there's a growing need for qualified early childhood educators. The latest census shows that more than 60% of Arizona children between the ages of birth to 5 are in the care of someone other than their parents during the day. That's due in part to a growing number of single-parent households and more parents working outside the home. That means a larger scale need for quality caregivers, a top priority for Jessica Harrington from First Things First and Brian Stewart from Pima Community College. Let's begin with you, Jessica. When we talk about the three components of early childhood education,
Sure.
academic, emotional, and social, is there one that's more important than the others?
In early childhood, we know that when young children are developing, first of all, those first 1,000 days are absolutely critical, and they are going to lay the foundation for that young child's life and really send them on a trajectory. But when we look at what makes quality early learning so important, it's all three of those ideas. And what we really need are early educators who are really understanding and skilled at understanding this idea of how we can infuse optimal early learning experiences of all three, and really centered on developmentally appropriate practice. That takes a unique skill set, a blending of education, a blending of understanding how young children learn.
Now, First Things First and Pima Community College work very closely in training caregivers. The face of caregivers is changing. There's a greater need. I mean, more than 60% of children are, during their awake time during the day, there was someone who is not their parent. How important, Brian, is that person in front of the child?
It is our future. And as such, what we want is somebody who represents our values, who connects with our children like we do, and who actually can help them develop and nurture them in a way that, while we might be good at it, they're going to even be better at it. So it's essential for us to really understand and have people coming into the field that have that empathy and those connections and that ability to understand a child, just like a surgeon is going to understand how the surgery works.
Jessica, quality child care can be costly.
Absolutely.
One report said maybe $10,000 a year.
Yes.
Do parents seem to understand the value that they'd be placing in their child when they make that sort of investment?
29% of our young children are living in poverty. So you have to take those considerations into the factors of choosing quality childcare. And if you're trying to make ends meet with paying a rent or mortgage, as well as food and other necessities, sometimes it's really hard to look at what you can afford as far as for early care and education. And sometimes if it's between housing and food or early care and education, that's when we see families experiencing some real difficulty in choosing. I think families want the absolute best for their young children and want to, if they need to find care, they want it to be quality. They want to have strong relationships with their caregivers, but sometimes that's just not the reality given the poverty and the statistics and realities that Arizonans and specifically Pima County residents face.
2 out of 3 children here in our community won't go to preschool or an early childhood program. Then they go to kindergarten. They starting off at a deficit?
What we know is that the first 5 years of a young child's life, 90% of their brain is being developed. Yes. So we know that those experiences, whether they be positive or not so positive, those are framing and the kind of creating the foundation for young children to set that foundation for the rest of their lives into adulthood. So really every young child it's very situational. But what we know is that quality early learning is really beneficial for young children. We see that as they enter kindergarten, and we can see also the positive benefits when they are more likely to go to college, that they're more likely to be a community contributor and an outstanding citizen.
And Brian, if a little one goes into kindergarten, doesn't quite have the full foundation, there will be some challenges as they move from kinder to 3rd grade, which as we know is so important for reading and comprehension.
Yeah, what we know, looking at how the brain works, is that there are many, many periods in our entire life in which our brain is rapidly develops and is really sort of malleable and good at changing itself. Those first 5 years are one of those key elements, and then the next few years, up until about 3rd grade, is another period, and then there's others. At each of those periods, though, what the brain is doing is a little different. And so the educators know what's happening that's a little different to optimize that. So although you might come in and maybe you didn't have that, the teacher knows what needs to happen in order to get them up to grade level. And then if they don't miss that, then there's periods later. And it just gets harder and harder. And eventually we, as the adults, eventually get tired of trying to go through those processes. You can still do it, it's just harder on us. So as you can get them younger, it's much easier because the energy is there and it's just much more malleable.
Okay, my thanks to both of you.
Great,
Thank you.